It happened on a rainy Tuesday morning. The kind of day where the clouds seem to hang a little lower, and the world moves a little slower. People rushed into the grand marble lobby of Bright Horizons Academy, umbrellas dripping and collars turned up. But amid the blur of expensive shoes and hurried footsteps, one moment brought the entire day to a quiet pause. In the far corner of the hallway, next to the row of bright red lockers, a young girl sat curled into herself, fingers fluttering in anxious rhythms. Her soft whimpers echoed slightly off the pristine tile walls. Her name was Lily, 8 years old, diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder, brilliant with numbers but overwhelmed by loud sounds and sudden changes. Most of the staff passed by, unsure of what to do, some too busy, others too afraid to do the wrong thing. Until he walked in. Wearing an old navy blue janitor uniform, his mop bucket squeaking softly behind him, Noah kept his head down at first. He wasn't part of the usual polished world of this elite school, where children arrived in black cars with chauffeurs and parents sat on boards of corporations. He was just the janitor. A single father doing what he could to give his son a better life. But when he saw Lily, he paused. The moment pulled him in like gravity. He set his mop aside, knelt a few feet away from her, and softly, gently, began to hum. It was an old tune. Something from the 80s, barely audible. But somehow, Lily stilled. Her fingers slowed. Her breathing began to even out. "I know that one," she whispered, eyes not meeting his. "My son loves it," Noah said softly. "Says it calms the monsters in his head." She looked up at him then, really looked. "Me too," she said. And that's when she saw him. Valerie Monroe. CEO of Monroe Enterprises. Worth billions. The kind of woman who walked into rooms and changed the air. She had arrived unannounced that day, driven by a gut instinct after the school called about a situation with her daughter. She watched from the hallway. Silent. Frozen. Her daughter, who screamed at the touch of fabric tags, who flinched at new voices, who rarely let anyone near her, was sitting calmly, just feet away from a man she had never met, quietly nodding as he spoke about dinosaurs and stars. Valerie's heart clenched. She had tried therapists, aides, even trained specialists. No one had ever reached Lily this easily. And certainly not a janitor. What followed was unexpected. Valerie introduced herself, curt, formal, and thanked him. Noah just nodded, almost embarrassed, and returned to his mop. But Valerie couldn't stop thinking about it. The next day, she watched again, this time deliberately. And again the next. Noah had a way with Lily. A calm, patient rhythm that never tried to force her into the world but instead joined her gently in hers. When she rocked, he rocked. When she flapped, he flapped too, smiling like it was the most natural thing in the world. Their bond grew. Valerie began arriving early, under the pretense of meetings, but stayed just to catch glimpses. She found herself wondering, who was this man? Her assistant did some digging. Noah Carter. Widowed. Lost his wife to cancer 4 years ago. Former librarian turned janitor after the hospital bills took everything. Father to a 10-year-old boy named Eli, who also had autism. No criminal record. No scandals. Just life. Hard, honest life. She couldn't stop thinking about him. One evening, she asked him to coffee, under the guise of discussing Lily's comfort and progress. He was hesitant, almost shy, but agreed. They sat at a small cafe nearby. She wore designer. He wore a thrifted button-up. But they talked like old friends. About parenting. About exhaustion. About guilt. About love that stretches and stretches, even when it breaks you. "I just want her to be happy," Valerie whispered, staring at her untouched coffee. "I have everything, but I can't give her that." "You already have," Noah replied quietly. "You care. You show up. That matters." It was the first time in years she felt seen. Weeks turned into months. Valerie began bringing Eli small gifts. Books. Fidget toys. She and Lily visited Noah's modest apartment, where the furniture was secondhand but the love was unmistakable. The four of them shared laughter, puzzles, messes, and moments that made time feel less heavy. But it wasn't always easy. There were breakdowns. Valerie struggled to let go of control. Noah sometimes feared he didn't belong in her world. Lily had regressions. Eli had meltdowns. But through it all, they chose to stay. To learn. To grow. To love. One day, during the school's spring open house, Lily stood on stage for the first time, holding a handmade cardboard star. Her eyes searched the crowd. Valerie smiled nervously from the front row. But it was Noah she looked at. "I'm not scared," Lily said into the microphone. "Because my friend is here." The crowd applauded. Valerie cried. After the event, as the sun dipped below the horizon and the children ran circles on the lawn, Valerie turned to Noah. "I used to think strength meant being able to fix everything," she said, voice thick with emotion. "But now I know, it means holding on when you can't." Noah smiled.